everyone. We have so much to talk about today. I don't even know where to start. If you haven't heard already, OpenAI just had their very first DevDay event. So this was something kind of like back when those big iPhone launches were a huge thing. That's kind of how this felt, honestly, in the tech world. Everyone was really looking forward to this. Everyone was super curious about what they were going to announce, what kinds of updates they were going to release, and what new ways we were going to be able to explore ChatGPT and all of their other tools. And you guys, this event did not disappoint. Now, I'm not going to go into all the different development updates and things like that. I, as usual, am going to focus on the things that pertain to copywriting and content creation with AI and ChatGPT, because that's kind of my thing, of course. That's why you're here. You guys, I am so excited about some of the updates that have been released and that are being released right now. This, honestly, is going to be a game changer for the way that we create content with ChatGPT. So first of all, ChatGPT, specifically GPT-4, is now GPT-4 Turbo. Now, this new model addresses 6 big things. We're going to dive into the ones specifically that relate to copywriting and content creation. Now, if you guys have ever heard me complain on my social channels about ChatGPT forgetting what I'm talking about or having to get it back on track somehow, this update, will mean a lot to me. So we've talked a lot on this channel and on all my channels about context window. Context window is probably one of the things that has most gotten in the way of my workflows with ChatGPT when it comes to copywriting and content creation. Context window is essentially its memory. So if you've ever been in a really long chat with ChatGPT and you notice that it's starting to forget what you're talking about, or it's talking about services that you don't actually provide, that's because it really is forgetting. It's forgetting the beginning of your chat. So oftentimes you'll have to either update it, give it your pre-prompt or your information all over again, try to get it back on track. But most of the time, it's just easier to start a new chat and start from scratch. Not ideal. Part of that is because the context window with GPT-4 was between 8,000 and 32,000 tokens. Now, tokens are a little bit weird. They don't exactly equate to characters or word length or anything like that. They're somewhere in between. But the key thing is that it was not long enough for us to have a really long, sustained conversation with ChatGPT and have it really remember accurately what it is that we do without having to update it regularly. Not a big deal. We work around it. We've developed processes to kind of deal with that. But the news today is huge. With this new model, GPT-4 Turbo, the context window for ChatGPT is now, get ready for it, 128,000 tokens. That's about 300 pages from a traditional book. That means you can chat longer with much more accuracy than you have ever been able to before. Now, you've probably heard me talking about Claude in the past. Claude is another large language model that also has a really big context window. In fact, it's one of the ones that has the biggest context window out there right now. But you've also probably heard me say that Claude doesn't like to follow directions all the time, not in the same way that ChatGPT does. So for me, this is a huge update that's going to have a big impact on my workflows. I no longer have to switch over to Claude when I need to deal with a larger body of text or a larger body of resource information or source information. I can stay right with my friend ChatGPT. That's exactly where I want to be, frankly. Now, this next update is another huge one, and I think you will see the possibilities with this right away. Previously, when you've been working with ChatGPT and you've asked it something about the world or you wanted it to gather updated information on something, it was limited to September 2021. Basically, it didn't know what happened in the world after September 2021. There could have been like an apocalypse and it wouldn't have even known. It would just tell you what happened up to September 2021. Well, that world knowledge cutoff has now been increased. ChatGPT is now up to date on everything that's happened in the world up to April 2023. I don't know if it's actually everything that's happened in the world, but it's got a lot more knowledge than it did before. I'm really excited to put this into use and see how this is going to impact my workflows with ChatGPT. I can't wait to ask it more updated information on my clients' industries and things like that. It's going to make researching fast-changing industries so much easier. The last update I want to go into today is something that I think everybody is going to be talking about really soon, if they're not already. And that's this concept of AI agents, AI bots and things that will do things for you and get tasks done, and how OpenAI is leveling up its involvement in the production of those agents. Specifically, how they're giving us access to creating our own, and easier than ever before. Today, OpenAI announced GPTs. These are basically customized, tailored versions of ChatGPT that you can build yourself. And you're probably thinking what I was thinking before. I'm not a developer. I don't write code. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. And you know what? That's no problem anymore. because now GPTs, these customized versions of ChatGPT, can be trained just through natural language, basically just through chatting with it. My mind is absolutely swimming with the possibilities of what this means for me in the marketing world. Could I make a GPT that's basically trained on each of my clients' information so that it has all the context that it needs to write great content without me having to worry about a pre-prompt each time? There are so many possibilities to what these GPTs can potentially do for us. And they can be private, where you can create one just for yourself and for your own internal use, or public, where you can create it and share the link so that everyone can use it. Now, they also announced the launch of the GPT Store. And just like it sounds, that means you can create a GPT, again, using natural language, not with coding, and actually list it for sale in that store. It did sound like they were going to be pretty particular about which ones could be listed in the store for sale, and that they would have to pass a number of different tests and measures and things of that nature. But it's still a really exciting concept that we can design something using natural language and leveraging ChatGPT, our own customized version of ChatGPT, and launch it for sale to the world. Additionally, if you happen to create a GPT that is super popular and super helpful, you'll actually get revenue sharing from OpenAI. And we all know there's a lot of revenue there. It sounds like revenue sharing is going to be for the most used and the most popular GPTs. So start brainstorming, guys, come up with those GPT ideas, and let's see what you create. Now, there were so many more updates from this event, especially where it concerns developers and API access and things of that nature. Feel free to check it out, look for some summaries. I'm sure the internet is going to be swimming in content about all of that because it was all a really big deal. But I personally am excited about these 3 updates, and I cannot wait to dive in and start testing them out. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.